What's going on, people, and welcome to my match preview and my starting 11 for tomorrow's game against Burnley at Turf Moor. It's going to be very tough, I think, and we're going to have to be very selective and very cautious, I think, in who we pick, because it could be vital. And this isn't who Ranić could go with. This is my starting 11. But Burnley, tough place to go. They are bottom of the league, but they have games in hand. Weghorst, new striker in replacement for Wood. They don't bang a lot of goals, but they're hard to play against. They're physical, they're dirty, and they can snatch wins and they can snatch draws, and they can make life difficult for most teams they come up against. So the way it's going for us at the moment, I see it being a problem. I'm not saying we can't win, but it's going to be really tough for us to go there and get a result, I think. And Sean Dyche knows that team in and out, and yes, they're at the bottom of the league, but they have games in hand, and they may well go down this season, but it's going to be with a huge fight, because I know that their players like a scrap, and they're difficult, and they like to be difficult. So I think it's going to be tougher than people think. I think we should, on paper, be going to places like this and getting results, but we've struggled to do it for a number of years, and I think tomorrow will be no different. I predicted 1-0 Burnley. Hopefully we can go there and get 3 points, because I don't really want a draw. I want 3 points. But I've gone with 1-0 Burnley because I feel like they're going to be up for it. They've got a lot more to fight for than us, I think. And I think we're going to struggle. The only thing that is in our favour, perhaps, is the fact that they don't score a lot of goals. But we can't go there and take them lightly. We've seen what smaller teams can do in the Cup. Now, these are a team that are in the same league as us, albeit they might not be next season. But currently they are. And it only takes one game to do something. So, my lineup, David De Gea in goal. I think he has to play for the league. I went with Henderson in the Cup the other day, but De Gea needs to be in the goal. Easily our number one for me. So, De Gea picks himself. Delo at right back for me. I'd rather him than Aaron Wan-Bissaka, as I said. I think he offers us a lot more. And I think he's done well since he came into the team. So Delo at right back. Varane and Lindelof I would go with as my centre-backs. I'd go with Luke Shaw at left back. Not really too fussed over him and Telles, but I do think Shaw's a little bit better overall. So I'd go with Shaw. And then I'd go with Fred and Pogba in the midfield. I feel Pogba did okay in the last game, despite the result. I think he was one of the better players. So I would stick with Pogba, and I would partner him with Fred, because I think Fred's more mobile than McTominay is. And I just think Fred works better with Pogba than McTominay does, so I would go with Fred. Fred and Pogba in the midfield. Sancho on the right. I think he was quality the last game. I actually give him my man of the match. Against Middlesbrough, he was my man of the match, him and Varane, but I gave it to Sancho. And then I'd go with Lingard at 10. I feel like Bruno needs to be dropped because he's not performing at the level we know he's capable of. So I'd drop Bruno and put Lingard in his position. And I'd put Elanga on the left, because, again, I feel that he offers us a lot more than Rashford does. And it's important to show that Ranić still believes in Elanga after that penalty miss the other night. And it's important for Elanga's mentality and him being so young to show that you trust him and still believe in him. Because if he drops him and puts Rashford in or someone else for him, it doesn't do his mindset and his mentality any better than he's already been struggling with since that penalty miss. So for me, Elanga should start, and I'd go with him on the left. And up top, I would drop Ronaldo, because I think that he's been poor recently. Yes, he can do something and change the game in like a second, but he hasn't been doing it for a while. He's not had a great deal of service, but against Middlesbrough he did, and he was poor. And there's been times where he should be doing better, I think, and we know he can do. So for me, I would switch it up and I'd drop him, even if you have him on the bench, and I'd put Cavani there. So I'd go with Lingard and Cavani as the major changes. I don't think Ranić will do this, by the way, but I think things need freshening up a bit. So they would be the two major changes for me. And as I said, it's going to be tough against Burnley, and I just hope that we can get a result. I would rather us get 3 points than a draw, obviously, but I would rather us lose than get a draw, to be honest, because I'm sick of getting draws when we should be winning and beating these teams. So for me, I want to go 1-0 Burnley. I hope I'm wrong, but I think a few players need to be dropped, regardless of how big they are, or what their brand is and their name, and because they're not performing on the pitch at the moment. So for me, Lingard and Cavani must come in. And I just hope we can get a result. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. The match is tomorrow. I'm just glad to have Premier League football back. It feels like it's been forever. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. I'll speak to you soon.